War. War never changes.
We always start with the world, and this time it features all new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology. It allows us to have 16 times the detail.
16 times the detail.
16 times the detail.
War. War never changes.
What's with the camera?
Welcome back to my video series on the video game Fallout Tactics. So in the first video, I had intended on going quickly through the Fallout Tactics character creation system and then approaching Mission 1. Unfortunately, what I had forgot, since it's been 20 years, is that those missions are very long. In my delusional state of mind, I thought, oh, I could get through this in 45 minutes. Well, it was more like an hour and a half, and I might have wiped out my team and not even halfway through the mission. So I decided to split off the character creation and call this like episode 1.5, and then I'll probably post the mission wipe. Well, it wasn't a complete failure, but you definitely don't want to be losing characters in the first part of the game. So I'm just going to replay that mission and kind of keep it as a separate episode, but I will be posting how much I suck at the first mission. I won't call it that. I'll call it like, this was put on really hard difficulty. Yeah, right. That's what it was. It was really hard difficulty. It wasn't me just being lame at a game. So anyway, hope you enjoy this video. If you don't want to see the whole character creation process and you just want to see the actual gameplay, running through the missions, some tactical attacks or setups and strategy and stuff like that, feel free to skip to the next video. I won't pressure you to watch all my videos or like them, but you should. You should feel very guilty for watching this and not liking the video or subscribing. So just think about that. Okay, welcome back to something. Yeah, that's what I'm calling this. It's not Fallout Tactics, it's something. So, and this is my first episode of something. So we're going to start with the first level of the game, but first I figured we could go through the character creation, see what some of the settings are, set up a new character, and then hop right into it. So I actually was going to just go through create and then go through all the options. So this is a completely blank slate. So just name. Obviously it'll be Bob. Or maybe no. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I don't know if the age or if any of these things actually impact anything truly. Like, this is interesting. It's left as an option to change your species, but obviously I'm clicking it and there's nothing there. So I don't know if, like in the custom campaign, if you could set up a custom character beyond human. So the interesting thing is the Brotherhood of Steel, and this focuses around the Brotherhood of Steel, is extremely, I don't know if xenophobic is the right term, but they're strictly a human organization. So, and that actually kind of factors into the game a little bit. So yeah, if I was a ghoul, if I was a super mutant character, that wouldn't work at all with, at least with the beginning levels of working with the Brotherhood of Steel. So staying human in terms of role-playing makes perfect sense. But I don't know if changing male or age actually impacts anything. Same thing with portraits. Don't know if that actually impacts anything. It's interesting. Some of these actually look like real faces, and others just, that kind of looks like artwork. So while that guy, it looks like he was caught in a fire. But yeah, so yeah, sure, that works. Hair. Oops, didn't mean to select that. Sure. There. Nice. It kind of matches the picture. I imagine he would be good tan. No, that's not tan. There. I don't know. Oh, so this is an interesting option, which is tough guy. So this only allows for saving within bunkers, but it does grant double XP rewards. That might be nice for people going for more of a like permadeath, more penalties, different things like that. Just a harder playthrough. The problem is I don't know if there's going to be any bugs. When I played through originally years ago, there were no issues. I didn't have any problems with savings or saving crashing, anything like that. But I'm just going to leave this off just in case there's any issues that the game crashes, because it's been 20 years. So I guess I can start off. So what I like to do is, so these, you can tag up to 3 skills, and by tagging a skill, that means that the points that you put into it, at least for a certain period of time, get doubled. I believe, as well as it starts you off with a bonus. So if I do small weapons, see, that jump from 25 to 45, and then that skill will also go up faster. So this is a good way, I figure, in how to start off. And then you can also see your stat points that you'll need to put in later, and you start off with 5. But before I do that, so if you want, you can set up, okay, I want to have a sniper who's also a doctor, and he can sneak. Actually, a doctor. So there's a difference between first aid and doctor. So a doctor can use medical bags and heal crippled limbs. So crippled limbs are a very serious thing in this game, and can only really be fixed properly by a doctor. And if you have poor skills, you can actually injure the character more so. So a crippling injury can be like the loss of a limb, which can impact which guns you can use or hold. It can also impact eyesight, just all sorts of things, your ability to run. So having a doctor in your group is really important. And your squad does start off with doctor first, but having a backup doctor, very handy in this game. First aid is just how well you heal small cuts, and it's like, yeah, that's a good thing, and definitely you should put points into it. But just having doctor and sneak, just having doctor is good for the whole party. Sneak, just because I want to have a sniper that can sneak around the battlefield, get up to areas that are good positions, and then start opening fire. So, and then that allows me to see, okay, I'm going to need agility for sneak and agility for small guns. So I want to have a good chunk of agility points. Also, since I'm going to have a sniper, and since doctor also requires perception, I'm going to also want to put in a fair amount to to perception here. Now, I believe you don't generally want to go beyond, I think, 4 points for strength, because then there's things that enhance your strength, so allows you to hold certain weapons and certain armor. So, and if you go beyond, if you make the character really weak, 3 to, for example, then I don't believe you can hold some of the heavier weapons. Now, since my character is going to be a sniper, they're not going to be holding big weapons, so I'm not too concerned about that. Still, I probably want to leave it up at fair, just so the carrying capacity is not too heavily impacted, because I'm also thinking of taking small frame to get an extra stat point. And then perception, that's going to impact that. I believe 7 was a good compromise. So you can make You can go all the way up to 10. But generally speaking, yeah, that's just too much of a stat dump, because then it just leaves you weak or just mediocre in other fields. And unfortunately, in this game, average character is more or less a mediocre character. So your character needs to, all your characters in your squad need to excel in one field, at least. If they don't excel in one field, then what's the point in having them, really? So I think seven's a good start. Sometimes eight. So I could start with eight. Endurance impacts hit points. So let's see. Yeah, you see if you reduce that impacts hit points. It also modifies like resistances, poison and radiation, healing rate, additional hit points per level. So since I'm going to be running a sniper, the idea is that I shouldn't have to need a lot of hit points because my guy should be out of danger. The unfortunate truth with this game is that things go to hell really quickly, and you need your character to be able to take a punch, because there's going to be a time when your sniper misses a critical shot and there's a super mutant just barreling down. And yeah, until you get superior energy weapons, which eventually, I didn't tag energy weapons here, but I'm going to be putting skills into that. Eventually, over the course of the game, you transition from small guns to energy weapons. It's just the nature of the beast, really. With big guns, you can keep big guns all the way up to the very end. So because there's Browning, I believe, 50 caliber. Now that takes, I believe, a strength of 7 or 8 to hold. So you need a character that's that can hold that weight to use it effectively. But there's a whole bunch of other issues with that. Holding just that weapon and enough ammo to supply it will, even with a big character with a lot of strength, that'll take up most of their capacity. So it's you don't want to have your whole group be big guns. Not to mention that it's also incredibly expensive to run a character like that. So back to endurance. So endurance, it's so generally, again, with most of these, you don't want to go be below fair. Otherwise, the penalties just are almost crushing in a way. So I could probably get away with fair, but if I can just leave it at 5, see what I have to work with, because eventually, in fact, I might as well actually add these now. So generally, in the past, I've gone with small frame. Now, this is just going to be what I remember doing in the past. There's all sorts of builds that you can do. Kamikaze is fun, so it lowers armor class. That you do more damage with every attack. So there's certain things that you can. And the interesting thing, these are optional, as it says there, of course. So you don't necessarily have to pick any of these. That's one of the nice things, because there are some negatives. With the small frame, you don't carry as much, which in the beginning of the game, that's not too much of an issue. And plus, you can get other characters to be a mule. So you just get a nice single point out of that, and the drawback isn't too bad. Let's see, skills. So skilled or gifted, I mentioned in the previous video. These are like heavy hitters, but they also come with severe downsides. So with skilled, let's see. Yeah, so with skilled, you gain extra skill points. The problem is you don't get perks, and those perks in this game are a big thing. So generally, you would take skilled if you're going to have a low intelligence character. I'm going to try to have a higher intelligence character, so I'm not going to take skilled, because you don't want to be missing out on perks. Perks include everything from being able to get more skill points, all the way up to causing more damage and just causing more mayhem on the battlefield. Gifted, that's probably the biggest one that, and in this case, I'm going to go with gifted, just because it adds 1 point to every stat, and that impacts everything. It's just you get uh, you lose 10% to skills, but and receive 5 less skill points per level. But if you bump this up to 8, I think that pretty much takes reduces that benefit, or sorry, reduces that negative. So let's see, skill rate. So 16. These are the skills that you get every level. So let's see, if you just take that down, you can't have less than an intelligence of 2, which is kind of funny. So, but yeah, if you're only earning 4 skill points, yeah, you definitely have handicapped your character. It'll make the game harder, and if that's what you want, then well, good luck to you. So it does give you a lot of nice points to play around with, though. So anyway, 16. At least having 14 is good, but if you have 16, you're doing pretty good for skill points per level. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and especially with tagged skills, those leave double. So instead of going up to 44 with 1 skill point, you'll go up to 45. So tagging skills along with getting good skill points, very important for the beginning game. Later on, as long as your characters are getting good skill points, yeah, eventually you can get any character to be decent, unless they're blind or they have some crippling aspect here. So stats are very important. So luck. Luck is one of those, I'll go over the rest, but luck is one of those things that a lot of people will just like reduce down, and then it's like, I'll just have a luck at 2. And go, but, and it doesn't say, it says fate, karma, extremely high or low luck will affect the character somehow. So it leaves it mysterious, but really what luck impacts, I believe, there's some sites out there that I think list what luck actually does. Beyond, I believe it impacts critical points. Oh yeah, it actually says critical chance right there. So it impacts that, but it also impacts, I believe, random counters, and then I think it has an ability to cause you to miss more shots and do other things. So it's almost, I think, like the jinxed skill. So yeah, this is another one of those traits that it's like, if you're on another playthrough, yeah, maybe you give this a try. But since the benefits are not quite concrete, I wouldn't go with that. So this is taking longer than I thought, but developing a good character is always like kind of the backbone of any of the campaigns that when you start off with Fallout Tactics. So yeah, you set up a good character and it kind of sets you up for the rest of the game. So let's see. So I think average, I got that. Good agility. Oh yeah, with agility, I believe that impacts action points. So the critical thing here to note is that, yeah, it's with each even number of agility points, you get an action point. So leaving agility at 5, no. So you'll notice between 4 and 5 that your action points don't increase. So it's like putting in an extra point to agility. It'll impact some other things, but you're really after a lot of your movement, a lot of your actions, as it implies, action points, revolve around this. Some guns take a lot more action points, and when you target your weapon towards a body part, it takes even more action points in some cases. So having a good amount of action points is very important, and also planning how much agility you put in is very important. So in this case, it's, let's see, make sure. Yeah, so again, 6 and 7, yeah, you don't get really a benefit from just having agility of 7. You might as well just either have 6 or go with 8. So I'd say go with 8. I'm leaving charisma at 6. It feels wrong, but it does impact your recruit pool, and I can't remember like if you just leave it at 5 if it's good, or if you add one more if it really matters. So I'll try to leave it there if possible. Let's see, where else can I put? So yeah, see, taking gifted is great because it just gives every point down here. So it allows you to have exceptional character points there, and the skills will just come later from having good intelligence. And then there's also perks that you can take that increase, I believe, your experience and skill points as well. So, I could make a super sniper if I add in another, but it's kind of a waste. And then adding, could make a really intelligent. Then I get more skill points. That's a really good perk. See, adding another point there, it's not going to net me any more action points. So if I wanted to, so see, where is it? Action points 9. So if I take one out of charisma and add this, that should make 10. So actually, I can do that and then just have a lot of action points, and that's a pretty banging character, I think. Going to probably sacrifice on the recruit pool, and sometimes having a better luck is good, but at least an average horrible things aren't going to happen. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's good. So anything else? Probably missing something, but we'll just say done.
Do it! Do it! Come on! Here! Come on! Do it now!